we have to discuss the phenomenon that is Hamilton, the musical, and basically, Lowenschaften did another Medium article on this. I'm going to sort of borrow from him. It was titled "Why You Should Be Terrified That People Who Enjoy Hamilton Run Our Country." And I got to say, I agree with him 100%. And by the way, Lowen has been killing it with these Medium pieces. He's just been spitting acid in every one of them, and I love him. But the genesis of this discussion this week, this could be really a running segment on this show called "What Nauseated You the Most This Week?" And for me, it was easily David Roberts, a.k.a. Dr. Vox of Vox, his series of tweets about Hamilton and his passion for it.
Because the cast, or at least the head guy, the writer, creator, were at the White House.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda went to the White House this week, and David Roberts reacted. He goes, this is all caps right now. He says, "Hamilton being performed live at the White House here. I'm so effing excited." And then it's starting now, Hamilton, White House. It's all happening. This is an adult man.
Dude, just fucking kill yourself. Fucking take a header off your
The dude's looking at his computer like Nelson watching Andy Williams in Branson, Missouri.
Here's the best part about it. When of course people, because Dr. Vox is despicable. Who
is this guy? God.
He looks like if Jonah Goldberg was run through a carpet cleaner. But he's just like the biggest neoliberal centrist pussy in the world. But like people like regularly abuse this guy and are like, "Shut up, you fucking pussy! I'm gonna fuck your wife. You're retarded. Fuck you." And he's like, "I see you've conceded my point. You've run out of arguments." But when people were like, of course, replied to him like, "Hamilton sucks. It's for children. It's Schoolhouse Rock. You're a bitch. Shut the fuck up." He was like, "My day is ruined learning that they're Hamilton haters on Twitter."
No, that's what sent him over the edge. There was just two more. When he said, "The very first time at Lin-Manuel quietly sings the word Alexander Hamilton, I get a tear in my eye. It's Pavlovian." Okay, this is the worst one. This is the worst one. I can't say exactly why, but to me, Hamilton represents everything about America that Trump isn't. Oh.
That makes me want to give money.
I wanna. He doesn't want it, but I want to give it to him. I want to give Trump $500.
Yeah,
I want him to become president and then spend 20 minutes of the first State of the Union calling Dr. Vox a bitch.
Yeah, I want Trump to like make a speech about how much Hamilton sucks.
Yeah, no, I would vote for him if he did that.
I would vote better.
Look at that. What are they doing? They're rapping, dressed up like pirates. What's going on? Absurd.
So now we exposed ourselves to it this week, and I'm issuing a challenge now to everyone listening to the show. Find the Hamilton original soundtrack. See if you can get some clips of it. Find the original soundtrack. See how long you can listen to any one of these songs. If you can make it more than 10 to 15 seconds, then you've beaten me.
Hamilton is like something that Dennis, like a scheme that Dennis would have on Always Sunny.
The thing that I always, as soon as I just want to pat myself on the back a little bit, in that like this has been a phenomenon for a while now, and it's been gaining steam, especially certainly in New York and among the pundit and media class. Like they've been loving this thing. Like over the fall and winter, the BuzzFeed Hamilton Slack is a thing I found out existed, and it filled me with despair. But I was on record 6 months ago saying anyone who paid hundreds of dollars to go to Broadway to watch the Founding Fathers rap should be jailed and all of their assets confiscated.
The BuzzFeed people should be taken on a one-way helicopter trip over the ocean.
We were getting very dark now in our hatred of this, but I'll say the worst part about it is like, okay, it's the rapping Founding Fathers, everybody. But here's the worst part: the rapping in this musical is the worst kind of rapping that every like dickhead like white kid teenager who tries to become a rapper does. It's the same style where you take the same word And it's all this. It's like, I'm talking about the devastation that corporations cause across our nation. It's like it's not even rapping. It's just cheating. It's just
Right,
like
that's rich kid rap. That's fucking
exactly
that's like slightly above backpack rap.
yeah.
These people fucking love it because they want to be intersectional. But if you're Dr. Vox, you're still like terrified of black people. Like Dr. Vox is he probably locks his doors when he sees black people, even though he lives in a nice neighborhood and nothing's ever fucking happened to him in his life. But he wants to be like, I like all music. But finally a musical came along performed by like art kids where they're like, yo, if the fiscal responsibility creates a disparity, then we will have parity for our parity. He's like, yes. Nice.
I didn't like rap, but then when people started doing it in powdered wigs, I felt myself oddly comforted.
It's just there's a song on the Hamilton soundtrack called the 10 Dual Commandments. That's obviously a riff on the famous 10 Crack Commandments.
One of the greatest rap songs of all time.
Probably one of the best rap songs ever written. But it's all stuff like rule number 2, get yourself a second. That's 2. He's your lieutenant. Like. And it's just these people love it. They like it's become a phenomenon in our and then Emma Watson beatboxes with Lin-Manuel about feminism, and it's just like
I think
how does anyone this is the corniest shit ever.
I think what appeals to it, because like I did listen to the first song, the one, and it's now in my head, and I wish I could fucking stick a knitting
drill
in my eye and get rid of it.
Yeah.
And the very first line is, how does a bastard, orphan, child of a whore and a Scotsman? And it's all about, like, this guy who, because apparently that's what drew Lin-Manuel Miranda to it, is this guy was a poor immigrant who came to America and became the Secretary of the Treasury and helped shape this country. And so it's really that, it is the ideal world as conceived of by these limp dick media people and pundits, a government system where you have a meritocracy that is multicultural, right?
Yeah.
Like they want to feel like everyone has a chance, but like the best people can rise and be successful, like Alexander Hamilton was. And then that vision of government in the Founding Fathers, like what Dr. Vox is talking about, the opposite of Trump, this idea of like people of merit coming together and doing what's best for the country on its own terms without either the pressure of actual voters and actual citizens, the great beast, as Alexander Hamilton actually called them, on the one side, and then the depressing reality of the actual interest groups that shape policy on the other. Like those two things that sort of the bipartisan centrist fantasy of government likes to get rid of. And when they close their eyes and imagine government, there aren't people baying for blood. There aren't, the great beast, and there isn't just cold capital making the shots. There are people speaking from the heart, smart people. And so that founding father vision of those guys sitting around, the cabinets making these decisions, that's very inspiring to them. But because they're liberals, they're made uncomfortable by the fact they're all white slave owners. So by turning that into a multicultural rap battle, it's like they get to pretend to be cool and nerdy, and they get to imagine this system of government, this elite brokerage through, cool, to them anyway, multicultural hip hop.
And this is sort of like why Dr. Vox, when people just started making fun of him, he was like, I never block anyone, but these Hamilton trolls. I mean, once you love something, there's always going to be like some douche to come along to shit on it. It's like they invest so much in their sort of like personal tastes in popular culture. It's like it's really important to them, and I don't know. It's like it's this nerd culture thing.
Yeah, it's performative nerdiness. Like everybody, the thing now online is to perform some variety of nerdiness, and it's either like Game of Thrones or I fucking love science or superhero movies. And for these guys who are ostensibly supposed to care about government and politics and stuff, this is a chance to be performatively nerdy.
these people don't have any actual politics outside of respecting the rules and wearing lanyards and respecting the people in power.
And these guys were all
not only that,
the
but
founding fathers.
As the point Lowenchaffen makes in his Medium article, which I highly recommend you all look up, because I think at one point he says Lin-Manuel is the least talented person to get invited to the White House since the kid who took apart a clock.
This is the same thing as the woke people who are like, yeah, I listen to a little artist called Beyonce because they have no policy and they're just all cultural signifiers. It's almost like monarchism where they've picked an idol to represent them. But these, like, the Dr. Vox people, they're supposed to be the policy wonks, but they're just as fucking shallow and fetid as anyone else, because this nothing has represented them more. Like a hagiographical musical where they can pretend to be intersectional and pretend to be multicultural.